It's done.
That's why I don't even like Ziggler anymore. It's because I totally know that they don't give a shit. I'd probably buy a Ziggler T-shirt if he was taken seriously. But guess what?
It's like it's like believing in the fucking Cubs.
Well, in a way, yeah, it's like that. In a way,
in a fucking way.
I have more believability the Cubs will win the World Series than fucking the WWE will do the right thing.
You're right.
That tells you. I mean, really, that's why a bad analogy. That's why it doesn't work for me because I still believe that they could win.
You're so right on that.
Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins is a pretty good match.
I thought that was an amazing match. I would think that was probably the second best match of the night.
For a feud and a build that really wasn't all that spectacular, the match ended up being fucking fantastic.
Great spot with the RKO where he went for the curb stomp and he lifted him with his shoulder up in the air and he came down. I remember everyone at my party for that WrestleMania just hopped up like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Very cool.
Pretty good match. And then
I thought that was
Randy Orton
ends
up beating him.
I think that was probably the
but we'll see.
Did anybody see that coming? Because when I predicted the matches on my channel, I said Seth Rollins hands down.
I did too. The predictions we definitely predicted. I believe. You know what? You've made me very curious and nostalgic. I'm gonna go back and watch my predictions video. And see what I chose for that. That's very fucking
The fans are going to beat us to it, then they're going to tweet to us, hey, fucking Joe said it was going to be Orton.
Yeah, I'm going to go look at my predictions video and find out. I'm pretty sure I said it was Seth.
Do you remember who you had said?
I honestly said I think Randy Orton would win, but I had no idea they were going to pull off a spot like that.
He's full of shit. I'm just kidding, JD.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I thought there was no chance in hell that Randy was gonna win. I thought it was a fucking enhancement win.
Oh yeah, me too. I thought I was like, oh, this is, because Randy had been on the down slope a little bit, so they were.
Because I think Joe and me are probably in agreement as if Seth loses, what are the chances of him cashing his Money in the Bank in? No, I didn't. I didn't see. I didn't think about it.
I don't think anybody had any idea he was going to cash in Money in the Bank at this.
I don't know. There was a few people in my party was like, yeah, it's probably going to be Seth Rollins.
I think we did talk about it, but it was like quick, kind of like it always was. But then when the match had started and got it going to the point it was at, nobody remembered about. At least most people had forgot about it. Most people, because I'd forgotten about it.
Most people forgot about it because Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, me personally, I went into this match thinking that this match wasn't going to be anything all that spectacular, but with the way Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns handled themselves in the main event, they blew me away, bro.
Absolutely.
I mean, this match wasn't the most technical match, but it was fucking fantastic for what it was.
It was physical.
Yes.
It was physical, and throughout the match, you're seeing these guys go at each other so physically, and you can tell they're just, before the match, you vision yourself, Roman look.
There's a little bit of the end of Remembering WrestleMania Episode 3. Now, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame, and we're going to get a little bit hyped about that. What we saw tonight on the Hall of Fame, we are live now, by the way. It's April 6, 2021. We're going to talk about what we've seen tonight. Some excitement going into WrestleMania. And then me and Jake are going to record Remembering WrestleMania Episode 4, which we'll cover. And we will invite a few people potentially to be on with us, which will cover WrestleManias 32 to 36. As you just heard, that was the end of Episode 3, where me and JB... and then JD, who joined us, all were remembering WrestleMania 31. So that's where this series has left off, everybody. It's hard to imagine. I mean, it's really crazy to me. I took a lot of pride in those podcasts with JB, and quite honestly, I really wish that JB were around. I would love to add him to me and Jake's podcast that we're about to do. But, in all honesty, because I think JB, even though he stopped watching wrestling mostly, I think he still watches WrestleMania, at some point. And so, therefore, I think it would be prevalent to have him on at some point. I know he he does listen. So if he ever feels the need to ever want to call and talk about something, love to have him for the nostalgia.
It'd be great to have him, and you figure, like you said, usually he always does watch Mania.
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching Mania. So, but what's crazy to me is, Jake, I can't believe this. That was WrestleMania 31.
Yeah,
we're about to be on 6th WrestleMania since that last episode was recorded.
I know, but it just shows because these are all the less than stellar Manias. 31 was kind of like the last beacon of hope, really. Even that wasn't overly stellar, but it was pretty decent.
This was recorded prior to WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, because that's when you had to lead into that big weekend. So.
I mean, look at that, dude! 6,066 views. It's a wonderful 3-hour-long podcast in which 4,000 people listened to more than 70% of it. That's nuts. And part 1 is great, part 2 is great, and part 3 is really great. If anybody ever wants to hear feelings on WrestleMania, now there were some things we did miss in those podcasts, and what I think I'm going to do is dig up some of the comments where people said you forgot about this, that, or the other thing, and we'll do sort of a extra or bonus episode and maybe go back and do that. But tonight we're going to be recording episode number 4. We are going to be doing that, I think, off the air and then uploading it. But right now we're sort of going to get into the intro of it, but also we're going to talk about Hall of Fame as it continues to go on right now in the background. So, I'll say hi to everybody in the chat. I hope you guys have been having a nice night. I really appreciate you guys supporting me like you guys have, man. I thank you guys so much. Obviously, with all the roadblocks, it's always a ride being subscribed to me, whether it's people attacking my other channel, whether it's being demonetized on the other channel, whether it's having people attack my stuff on this channel, so we have to get it fixed. Obviously going on all the time. And you guys have signed up on Patreon. Thank you for that. Maybe we'll get back to 300 patrons again. Shout out to the producers, who, without the producers, we wouldn't have that boost, because we have so many great people in the $1 and $2 spots. But obviously, that 80 to 100 of those only goes so far. So it's very meaningful to see people like these guys on your screen, Chad LaFave not included yet, and a few others, who have gone up to the $25 to 100 spot. Sith Negan is the top dog over there. Shell, Sith Negan. We lost a few, man, going forward, obviously, like we always do. But, man, it's WrestleMania time. I'm pumped up. It sucks that I began doing the most work I've done in 4 years this exact week during WrestleMania, because that's a little bit distracting. Normally, during WrestleMania in the past, I would take weeks off of work. I would plan vacations during the week of WrestleMania. And obviously, during the last 3 years, I've made my own work schedule because this is all I do, But this week, unfortunately, is when I chose to start a huge little job. And it's been crushing, to be honest. So I'm trying to get through this WrestleMania, somehow cover it the way I'm supposed to, and then do 11 hours of other stuff during the day, and then at night do this. So it's just crazy. So I just, if I'm out of it, you know why. But that being said, let's hear some super chats. Shit bomb. JCS foot rub.
A shit bomb.
Cronin, who do you think will be first in AEW?
AEW Hall of Fame? Oh God, I don't even want to think about that, to be honest. But probably like Kenny Omega or Cody Rhodes. Probably one
Chris
of those.
Jericho.
Guys. Oh yeah, Jericho. That's a great point. It definitely will be Jericho.
It would definitely be Jericho. Apparently, he was going to get asked a lot of softball questions, which you knew it would. But it was just a fun conversation between him and Austin. AEW is discussed, but it's going to be good.
What's my name?
Oh, I got to talk about that. I haven't seen it yet.
Duncachino. You want creamy goodness?
Not till Sunday.
Say hello to my chocolate.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
I think WWE every year kick one person out of the Hall of Fame because Terry's a ton people in there doesn't deserve it.
That is hilarious. Casey is Raw. That's a great idea.
Yeah, take someone over the top rope. That's a good one, Casey, you know? So every year they vote on someone to take out from all the previous years.
That is a riot. What I found really funny was when Titus O'Neil got elected the Warrior Award recipient.
Yeah.
Everybody flipped out that it should be Shad Gaspar, and they really flipped out, and then they were like, okay. And then you realize that they were going to induct the new class this year as well. So then they
everyone
announced,
thought that would be Shad, yeah.
So now, it's going to be him now. But no.
It's the same thing when Daniel Bryan didn't win the Rumble. It didn't matter who came out at his number 30, Rey Mysterio, Edge. It could have been Jesus Christ. It didn't matter. You know, the fans were going to boo because it wasn't Daniel. Same thing here.
But what's hilarious
it wasn't Shad.
Is that after all of these years of the fans, including our friend Botch Club, bitching, this is not what the Warrior wanted. The Warrior wanted people behind the scenes at WWE to get recognition.
Exactly.
Fucking
and
finally
Rich
do
Herring
it.
has been there for 50 years. Have you heard his name? Have you heard his name?
No, I've never heard his name.
He's been there for 50 years. You know what he does? He deals directly with state athletic commissions and with the talent's health. He handles that directly. He began 50 years ago with Vince McMahon's father.
So he's the one that went around getting all the drugs, the steroids.
Yeah, you never know. He's overseeing the health and well-being of all WWE talent and fans, and he has consistently gone above and beyond the call of duty on his day-to-day responsibilities. Everyone has nothing but the highest of respect and regards to speak of him. So,
well, not CM Punk, probably.
Maybe not, but he hasn't said anything bad yet. But this guy has been there with Vince's father.
Oh my God,
Senior.
If you look in Jake's window behind him, you can actually see the Hall of Fame going on.
That's right. Hopefully we don't get struck for that. You know?
No, I think that's too ambiguous, but it is there.
You never know with YouTube.
You never know
nowadays.
Oh my God, dude! The letter I would send to WWE headquarters if they did that. I'll tell you what. Seriously, if that right there was enough, the letter I would send WWE lawyers would be hilarious. In fact, you know what? I actually may go to WWE headquarters if they do that.
That's what I was going to say. I would just go and I would hand deliver my notice.
Yeah. Oh, I'd go with the bullhorn. I'd go with the Jimmy Hart bullhorn. I'd go live on YouTube and I'd make a big thing out of it. And I would, I would.
But like you said, in the spirit of what they wanted for the Jimmy Miranda Award, they are recognizing someone who's never gotten any, due recognition. 50 years of service to the WWE, being a very integral part, I guess, of the company, never knowing that he existed. Yeah, that's who this award is supposed to be for. So good for him. But what sucks is no matter who it was, if it wasn't Shad, and Shad gave his life in the ultimate effort of saving his child, I get why people want him so badly to have the award, but we know in our hearts that he is a hero. That's all that matters. We don't need WWE to recognize him.
I agree. I think it is baby mentality that people are mad about Shad, but what I don't understand is, doesn't WWE have a public relations people that have an eye on things? Like, imagine if I worked at WWE at all, and or just say WWE even called me. Imagine if WWE called me and they said, listen, we don't want to have backlash or to get people angry. And my theory, by the way, is that they don't give a shit, because otherwise they would do that. So because otherwise any public relations, anybody with a nose for anything would say, listen, guys, we really can't. People are angry that Shad isn't going into it doesn't get the Warrior Award for saving his kid, and there's an outcry for it. And if I was Vince, I'd say, damn, well, he saved his kid, it's a very sad, that's something to think about, and people are mad at the announcement of Titus O'Neil. So as Vince McMahon, I would think to myself, okay, well, now we're going to throw in an old white dude. That's going to double enrage people.
Already.
So, because when it was Titus O'Neil, people just were mad. Now that it's this guy, they're like, oh, of course, an old white guy. Now it's become a race thing. But it's just like,
and if they wanted to save it for fans, then go ahead and say, hey, we do plan on honoring Shad's, legacy, but we wanted to wait till we can do it in front of the WWE universe and, honor him as he deserves to be done so in front of, a full audience.
Well, that's a cop-out. I believe that's a cop-out. But
because a lot of people feel like, they're just waiting to do it in front of fans.
Well, you could have waited that for everybody then. Eric Bischoff.
That's what I'm saying, though, because why are these people doing it in front of a pre-recorded, Thunderdome screen with
because the show must go on
cheers.
Is why.
I just don't understand why they couldn't have done this in the CWC if they do the NXT shows with 100 fans.
Well, I don't understand this either.
More noise than I would have rather had a crowd of 100+ fans like they do for NXT than have just the Thunderdome. Not having any live reactions is jarring tonight.
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
This is a lot of the edited cheers makes me feel like I'm playing a video game tonight. It has taken up my attention out of it like many times.
Well, how about when Rob Van Dam went RVD, but the crowd said Rob Van Dam, and it was like awkward because they both didn't match up.
Exactly.
But
there's been a lot of things like that, Yeah, Sasha was a mess. she was botching all over the place. That'll be on Botchamania for sure.
I missed
Good
it.
old Holly Molly, she said instead of Molly Holly, but she was really tongue-tied and going all over the place. It was pretty funny.
Well, she's on drugs.
She's got to get prepared for her match with Bianca.
I'm just saying, I know this is random to bring this up right now. I'm just saying, I'm from Massachusetts. Sasha went to the same wrestling school as I did. I know what went on. I'm just going to have to say that I think Sasha Banks does drugs, like cocaine. I really do believe this. I'm sorry. I know that some people are going to be, oh, wow, he's saying a female does cocaine. Well, listen, I think she does cocaine, okay? I don't trust those North Andover people. You know what happens in North Andover? It's right near Lawrence, Mass.
They go skiing often.
Yeah, right near where Okayfabe lives. Is Okayfabe a good person? Not to his wife, he's not, and several other things. So, who trusts a guy who goes, a wrestling podcast with a twist? Now I'm playing kids games. Yeah, I listen, I don't trust any of those fucking people over on north of the border. He hangs around with a bunch of people that want to kill me. That guy's a psycho. So isn't Sasha Banks. All right? And, the bottom line is I don't trust these people. And Sasha's on cocaine.
What kills me is that they're so desperate that they have to bring in Mike Tyson to try and take down TakeOver tomorrow. That's how worried they are about a stacked NXT card that's been well booked.
Right. Mike Tyson's got it. Well, everyone was writing counter programming or something like that. At its finest.
That was the biggest issue NXT had. I used to love NXT programming, and granted, the switch to 2 hours was going to be difficult, but it's because they started to focus on counter programming and hot-shotting things because of AEW. That was, to me, their biggest issue, and I think a lot of people will agree. Now that they're going back to Tuesdays, I hope they go back to what they used to do and just put on a show that they care about. Do things that you want to do. Don't worry about network specials. Don't worry about what the competition's doing the next night and who they're having on, and now you have to do something else. And just tell your story. Tell your story, and that's why you had such a dedicated following of fans for NXT.
Tell your
story. They started to worry, and then we got the stupid parking lot cinematic brawls and things like that, and it all fell to the wayside.
Tell your story like all of JD's ex-girlfriends have done several times.
Everybody's cry for help.
Well, he never gets canceled. The girls keep coming out of the woodwork. But no, seriously, this is, by the way, Eric Bischoff looks great, by the way. He looks really thin.
He sounds good. I agree with what he's saying for the most part from what I've heard. And, he's really managed to look good over all the years. He's always held himself up well, so.
He looks better right now than he did a couple years ago. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's
he does look better. He's got that silver fox look now.
You know what's funny is he went from looking like a really sharp douchebag type of 80s guy. You know what I mean? He looked like the classic 80s, early 90s, douchebag guy.
Yeah, the bad guy villain.
Yeah, it's weird. He like your uncle he reminded me of many of my cousins and uncles at the time, right? Who were, in say 1989 and 1991. My uncles and cousins were around the ages of 25 to 45. And they reminded me of the younger guys, the 30 and 20-year-olds who were playing the stock market, and they were all buying cars and getting involved in computers and things like that. And but at some point, Eric Bischoff started getting older out of nowhere, and he got that puffed up fat look. And Eric Bischoff didn't look very good between the years 2000 and probably 2007. Like, he didn't look so good. He looked a little rough. I
don't think he looked terrible on Raw initially. He got worse as time went on.
Well, I don't think he looked very good when he first came out either.
I didn't think he looked that bad initially.
He was lost
a difference, but I don't think
he gained a lot of weight. He did
gain weight, but he got worse as time went on because you could just tell he got more frazzled and stressed, and he just wasn't happy, and he's admitted that. So.
Yeah, but now he looks like $1 million now.
Yeah, absolutely. Even on his podcast,
I think he could be a good.
You've seen a difference.
I think he could be a good Star Trek captain at this point. Look at him! Oh, look at that! Oh, he's throwing punches at the camera with the WWE Hall of Fame ring. That was sick. Look out, EB! What's going on? Wow, I'm fired up. That fired me up. I swear to God, no one else has tonight. That did.
No, JBL.
I missed JBL. You become. I missed it.
A shitball. Pretty bland.
Only looking forward to Mania stage crowd trip threat.
Yeah, that's what everybody's looking forward to, right?
Yeah, well, the stage, I got to see some extra previews besides the drone footage that's out there. Somebody Snapchatted me some stuff that was actually helping set up the stage earlier. Oh,
wow.
My God.
What's this mean?
It is freaking incredible. This stage might be one of the best stages we've seen. I'm trying not to overhype it, but
yeah, be careful. I'll shit on it then. I'll be mad.
Yeah, no, so I don't want to overhype it, but it looks incredible. They went ahead and they built their own pirate ship for the stage.
Oh,
but it's like 4.5 times bigger than the one that's already at Raymond James Stadium. It's massive.
What the hell is this?
It's huge.
Every time I log into Patreon, it asks me this.
I didn't save the snap. No,
every time
I didn't screenshot it. I kind of made a promise, so I'm good to it. But it looked better than 33. This looks absolutely truly incredible.
Jake, does this count for me?
What's that?
Every time I log into Patreon, it says Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. Patreon is working on an exciting new program to help identifying creators grow their creative business on Patreon. If you identify as a BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and People of Color, then we can do some extra stuff for you or something. Does this mean that I'm from Chad, Africa?
I think you might 2% qualify.
But I got 1%. No, I got 1%.
Oh, 1%. Okay, well then you 1% qualify. So I wouldn't take the survey. We're rounding down, but
are they excluding me?
I don't think they're excluding you. I think they're just telling you right now that you don't qualify yet.
Maybe I should take the survey and answer all wrong.
Hey, we might as well try it. Just take the survey anyway.
I keep getting this alert every time I log into Patreon. I'm like, why do they keep asking me this? And it just makes me feel bad about myself every time. I'm like, I'm not black. I'm a stupid white guy. Oh, I mean,
it's like their neighbors asking for their kids back. I hear the same cries too, but whatever.
Well, I just don't understand why. I'm only one.
Because you need to be more inclusive, Joe. That's the problem here. You're too white.
I knew I hated
myself. They know you're too white. They looked at your search history.
Oh my God! I got to bring this up to everybody. Everybody's gonna. You guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna love this. So there was a job I did not take a little while back. Right, a couple days back, I didn't take it. I didn't take the job, but I trained for 3 days. I did 3 days of training. The training was insane. It was absolutely insane. The training, it was nuts. And after 3 days of training, which was all 7 hours of PowerPoint after PowerPoint after PowerPoint. There were 38 PowerPoints that you had to watch, and they were all 15 minutes. And at the end of every one, there was a test. During PowerPoint number 17.
I've done these before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'll never forget PowerPoint number 17. By the way, you're supposed to do this training over 2 weeks, but because of COVID, they just go, here, do everything all by yourself. But it takes
because you're not there in person to be trained, so
exactly.
They give it to you all online at once. That's your full work day.
So you can get it done in about 4 days, but those 4 days are hell on earth, right? So now at 17, I'll never forget it, slideshow PowerPoint number 17. Now, in PowerPoint number 17, instead of it being a PowerPoint, it just said, here, watch this video about diversity. And I went, what? Oh, no. And so it said 1 hour long. And I went, what? 1 hour long? It was 59 minutes to be exact. And I looked at it and went, 1 hour long? What the fuck? I shit you not. I shit you not, Jake. It was, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of this because, diversity is good and everybody should be inclusive and be equal to each other. But when if I'm a manager and somebody comes in to be a rep or something, I don't care what color they are or what race they are. I say to them, hey,
it shouldn't matter.
We're hiring a customer service agent. What's going on, John? I grabbed your resume. And then John's like a white guy, and John goes, well, I think I'd be good because I've done this, that, or the other thing. And I go, damn, that guy was pretty good. All right, I think we might hire John. Or write John down. Okay. Now fucking in comes fucking, Zhao Ling or what, make up some name I don't even know about. And he's got an accent, and he's Asian. And he goes, I had 20 years experience of customer service. I know how to handle things like this. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to listen. I'm going to be like, now if he has better grasp of customer service and what I'm looking for, I'm going to fucking hire him. Okay? I don't care if it's fucking John, Jimmy, fucking Malcolm.
That's how
Lou,
it should be. That's why, Hollywood Video used to pull the same stuff
Muhammad,
with their
doesn't
ideal
matter.
Diversity, Joe. It doesn't matter, but you should have the best person for the job. But no,
Exactly.
they have to do that.
But
I was trying to hire people. It's like, oh, so you don't want me to hire the gay black person because you want a female as your, that's.
Oh, really? The manager wanted a female? I've seen that. I mean,
yeah.
so
They wanted more. They already had their black representation, so they needed more females. But it's like, but this person's more qualified. So it shouldn't be that way, but it is often.
But this video was so weird. So it was a
so woke.
It was so weird. It was a nice black man, wonderful. I think he was African American, in a beautiful suit. This guy had $1,000 suit on. He was very powerful speaking, and he was very good. And then he had a friend with him who was like also a manager, and the friend was also African American, and he was a manager of a real place. This other guy was more like a motivational guy. They both were very commanding and very well spoken and wonderful people. They also had some really great points, but then, and they were wonderful people. Like I thought to myself, I really love the motivation of the guy who was speaking, doing the training and doing the awareness of how the world can work and racism can work. They didn't really say they didn't really get into racism, but they got into like how, you can be bias and stuff like that, and so I actually appreciated that because that's just true. Everybody's biased in a way, so it was nice to see that. But it seemed to be all one-sided because then they brought on a white manager guy, and the manager guy was like, hey guys, and I've just noticed us over the last year, how this has really opened my eyes with my family members and people I thought were my friends. And, it's just, it goes really deeper than I ever thought. And I'm very ashamed of that. And he and then he began, and then the commanding guy would come back on and be like, well, I'm glad you're recognizing that because you can see blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I just want to know what I can do to stop this or to be better. How I can be, and then he began to cry, and I'm not even fucking kidding. The guy fucking cried, God. Jake. The guy fucking cried. I recorded some of it with my phone. This is from last week. Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? And then it went back to the other two guys who were very commanding, very powerful, very manly men who were like, and see, that's when you get that out and you realize what's happening. And it was just like watching these weird, it was, what it was like watching,
the message isn't even good there though.
It's the same thing as church. It's the new church. It used to be, well, I'll tell you what God said and I'll tell you this, that, and the other thing. Now just give me your money. Well, that's what this guy is doing. It's like he's making money on these training videos but he's just a powerful, great alpha male. And they had this pathetic guy on who was like crying over the fact that some other people suck or are mean or whatever. And it was just weird. It was to see the three individuals, the one owner who was so powerful and easy talking to, a guy I would have a beer with in 100%, the African-American manager, I'd have a beer with that guy 100 times over. I'd have a beer with the trainer guy who seemed like a great salesman and a great trainer and a great motivational speaker potentially. I don't even know what his background is. And I thought, man, those two guys, beautiful. But then the white guy who was like trying to say sorry about everything was creepy. And I thought to myself, that guy is fucking creepy. That's not a man at all.
I love when people say, like, I hate such and such and I'm such and such, because it's true, though. Like, Real YT goes, I hate those diversity training meetings and I'm black. And I'm like, but that's the thing, because they're not made for you. They're made to make white people feel better about themselves. It's not actually made to make the situation better. It's to make the guilty ones feel less guilty. That's all. By the way, if you want real inclusivity, then you wouldn't be paying attention to skin color at all, as you said to begin with. Well, you would just hire who's the best for the job, and everyone would get an equal chance at employment.
Well, no, what you do is you tell people, listen,
positive gains.
People are tribal by nature, and there are biases in groups that form. We need to be careful not to be hiring because of those reasons, and because we're more familiar with a skin color or with an accent or something like that. We need to really.
It's fine to recognize biases and work against them as well, but to have those be your only focus or purpose is a far cry from what should be done.
This video was terrifying that I watched. And by the way,
I can only begin to fathom
most of my black friends that I would send this video to, because I did send it to people and they laughed. They said that creeps them out, because if they go, one of the guys said to me, he goes, "Dude, I felt like the white guy was being raped and accepting it. It was weird." And that's what a very black friend of mine said. And by very black, I mean, like, this guy is fucking from the fucking hood, all right? And he goes, dude.
All right, back to the Hall of Fame really quick. I could not understand a word that Rich said there.
I don't know what he said.
All of that, so sorry.
He's still talking.
Let's get Kane out there.
Thank you for yesterday. I can hear him. He goes, thank you for yesterday. I've got a...
I really had a hard time trying to understand what he was saying, but he doesn't draw, that's for sure, Paul. But no, I know exactly what you're saying with these diversity things, and it's more insulting than beneficial. Like, HR
that was beautiful.
Truly a phobe, real beautiful.
Great, we gave an award to a white guy. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Over a black man that gave his life for his son.
But see, we all made that up. That it was supposed to be Shad Gaspar.
I'm continuing pushing that agenda, but still, the point is that
for all we know, too, Jake, they told this guy
he truly does deserve it. It seems like he did a hell of a lengthy, stellar 5-decade long career of him being with the same company. That's loyalty. I mean, I'm loyal to a fault, but damn. That shows something of value there. If we haven't heard his name all this time, then either they're really keeping him under the rug, or he's just never done anything wrong and he's just that good at his job.
Oh, that's got to be it. I mean, he just keeps his mouth.
That's really what it comes down to.
He keeps his mouth shut and does his job. You can tell he's that type of guy. But here's the other thing.
Feels that way. I'm just glad he got recognition.
One of the things, too, people are so mad about the whole Shad Gaspar thing. One of the other problems that there may be is he may have found out about this before WWE ever even thought, like, oh, people want Shad Gaspar, and we didn't even think about that in a way. They may have told this guy a long time ago, and they can't just then say, hey, sorry, listen, you're being bumped because we got to give this award, to a guy, and this guy might die tomorrow, and then it's like, what the hell was that about? So, I hope that it'd be nice if they did something. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to they could have literally given another award. They could have said, we're going to have 3 Warrior Awards, and we're going to even give more every year. And I wouldn't even be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to saying, like, we're going to give 3 Warrior Awards every year. And if they did that, I think that would be wonderful too. I mean, just to award people for good things, I'll never be against that. I know some people would say, well, that kind of limits the award.
I don't understand why they have the legacy part of the Hall of Fame. That always confused me.
Well,
instead of just having them, like, they don't feel like they're worth being part of the actual class, but they still deserve recognition. Okay, but just be in the Hall of Fame then,
right? No, because I don't mind it. I actually like it, and I'll tell you why. I like it because they're sort of recognizing, because it's silly when you get William Shatner gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he goes
tonight, but then you have other wrestlers.
Wow, it's great to be in the Hall of Fame. It's like, okay, well, he's in the celebrity wing. So when you're in the wing of like the legends, like RVD and stuff, there's a bit of a feeling, I think, that puts you at ease. Because otherwise you're like, well, I just saw a fucking, Puff Daddy get the goddamn Hall of Fame. Like, I feel like mine is diminished. But now you don't feel that way because you're like, well, he's a celebrity thing. He helps us promote our business, and that's why he's in there. But I'm in the real wrestling Hall of Fame part of this Hall of Fame. It means something to me. And so I think it would still mean something if there was just one and there wasn't these wings and whatever. I think they would still mean something more to the wrestler, obviously, than to the, Dingleberry Jones celebrity. But I do appreciate that there's a little bit of a tier separation, because without that really makes it kind of seem less special.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I understand.
And to me, it just feels like more of an insult. Like, oh, you don't really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but we still want to give you something. So here's your runner-up. It's just like you contributed something to wrestling. You should be in the Hall of Fame. There shouldn't be a tier system. I feel like, yeah, you can have someone main event the Hall of Fame, be the big draw. Absolutely, Kane's basically the main event of this year, and I don't disagree with that. But to have them be like, oh, you're not quite worthy is how it looks to me. So I was just never crazy about it.
Yeah, I get it. I can see the argument either way, and I
speaking of long-term fans and staff members, the set designer Jason Robinson has been with the company since 1995, and he was he's been talking about his favorite part of everything that he does is the night before WrestleMania, where 1 a.m, everything's set up, everybody's done, the light guys are good, everything's programmed into the screens, and he can just sit there and look around and take it all in. Like months of Post-it notes being in his pocket and, jotting down ideas of stages and designs and whatnot, and it all comes to life. It's finally come to fruition. Here it is, and he gets to take in all of his work before they go live. That's his favorite moment. And I really think the stage is going to be something stellar this year. Jason and everybody else that worked so hard on it, it looks incredible. I believe what they have on like the corner of the turnbuckles is like flag masts from the pirate ship. The whole setup just looks top notch. They still weren't even finished yet. So they're working hard. I cannot wait for Saturday night just to see how the stage looks and the audience reaction, really.
Yeah, I think that, again, like, this is going to be a fun thing. I mean, like we said, sure, the buildup has been just an atrocious pile of turd. But, by the way, this doesn't look like the entrance ramp to me. It looks like a pirate ship, though.
Yeah, they have a pirate ship as the ramp. So they have behind where the actual entrance ramp is the Raymond James, like their actual Buccaneers pirate ship. Then in front of that is the built stage pirate ship.
Oh, okay, because I
that everyone's walking out of.
This is what I found, but that's not the entrance.
Yeah, no. Right there, that pirate ship, that's their ship that's always there.
That's there, okay, for the football games. Yeah,
this is like 4.5 times, I believe they said, the size of that.
You got to get me. Where's a shot of this? Somebody get me a shot of this.
They had drone footage on Twitter the other day.
I saw that.
To find that really quick.
I saw that, but I didn't think they showed anything with it.
So you could see that. I mean, I saw much more detailed. I wish I could have saved it, but
it's okay. Don't worry. I'm just being a funny person. Like, I want to.
No. But it's just I'm telling you right now. I don't want to overhype it, but it looks wow. So you got a pirate ship as your main stage. Then you're gonna walk, and it almost. I'm curious because I saw it from a side angle, so you can see where they're gonna have the hard cam side set. They have like what looks to be, I don't know if it's 4 turnbuckles set of flag masts or just the front 2, but you definitely have the ship set up, and then it looks like it's going to lead to, I don't know if it's a plank for the ramp or like that's going to be off to the side more, but you see the crow's nest, you see the big mast, the sails, all of it, and it looked like they have 3 million pyro cannons set on the floor, so incredible.
Imagine if they set some cannons off, baby. They got to get those Tampa Bay cannons. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. Get some cannons, man. And then have Tom Brady show up.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised that they do something with the Buccaneers at Mania. We haven't heard anything yet, but I'm I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, honestly, think about it. Everything that we've seen so far, why not? They just had the Super Bowl there. It just happened. And again, Jason said in this interview, he's like, a lot of sports fans around the world have just seen the stadium. They know what it looks like. They just saw it at the Super Bowl. Now it's our turn, and we're going to make it completely different, and you're going to love what you see.
Wow. And then, like, dude,
that's a pretty cool quote. So
bring out Brady and then he'll kiss his kid in front of everybody. Like, he'll make French kiss his kid in front of the whole world. It will be...
Holy shit, I just thought about it. Titus versus Brady in a kiss your son on the lip match.
Oh, gross, right. Oh.
Cronin, I was watching some WU and I did some research. I found out Cactus Jack uses tombstone piledriver 8 months earlier than Undertaker. It's that sideway tombstone I still love. Taker thou.
Really? I did not know that. JCS Foot Rub, thank you for the $10. And look at this drop in apparent knowledge. Cactus Jack used tombstone piledriver 8 months earlier than The Undertaker. Wow. That's interesting. But I mean, they'd seen a lot of the guys in Texas do it, like the Blackjacks, and not the Blackjacks, but the, Freebirds and the Von Erichs did it. I think the Von Erichs had done a tombstone or so. Maybe I could be wrong about that, actually. I have no idea, but I'm sure they did something. Here comes Kane, baby. Last time we saw Kane in the Hall of Fame, he was coming out to take someone out there. Hey, somebody was booing him in the crowd. So is this crowd live really at the Hall of Fame, or do you think this crowd is recorded?
I believe some of it was pre-recorded Thunderdome people, and other were people that signed up for the Hall of Fame that were able to do it the other day when they had it. So,
wow, look at that.
There were some live people in attendance for this via the Thunderdome, but it wasn't live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel so bad for these guys. There should be some people
I
there.
do too. I don't understand why they couldn't have done it, like I said, even in the CWC where they have NXT. I'd rather 100 fans than nothing. Every time you have the Kane, or like you said before, Rob Van Dam, like it just, that it's the video game audio. Why can't they? What I would have done, knowing that they're going to have,
I think they're trying to limit an outbreak before Mania. I guess I don't know. It's got to be right.
I know this, but get a bunch of fans online in the Thunderdome, just like The Rock did to videotape for the movie that they did, Fighting with My Family. They had everybody cheer. He's like, I want to hear a loud cheer. I want to hear a loud boo. Get a Thunderdome audience to do that for you. I need everyone to chant Kane. Everyone chant Rob Van Dam. Everyone chant This Is Awesome. Everyone chant Thank You, Rich. Who else did I forget tonight? British Bulldog, clap, 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 clap. Stuff like that. You could have had, and then record it, and it would have sounded legitimate. It would have sounded natural. They already take your audio when you go into the Thunderdome, so why not utilize that?
What would have been? What we should have done? We should have done this, like, as wrestling fans and people that cover it and everybody else. What we should have done was, and I didn't think about this, and we still could do it, but we should have put together videos of all the fans, anybody, you guys, whatever, all of us, and you got about 30 seconds to a minute, and give us your quickest, biggest memories and quick thoughts on every single one of these guys, and we could have taken it and put it together and made a video and tweeted it to WWE and the wrestler of said choice or whatever. That way it would almost be like hey, you didn't get to see all the fans reacting to your words and your induction, so instead here's a video of actual fans, and lots of them, reacting to you going into the Hall of Fame and what it means to them, and send that to the wrestlers. I think that would have been something special. It's something we still could do, actually, but I think that's a really good idea. Someone like RVD to go on Twitter and see, Joe Cronin show, fans all react to RVD going to the Hall of Fame. So I think that's a great idea, and that's probably something we should have done already, but maybe we can work on it, and we can maybe that's something we can work on and do and release over the course of every week. We can release 2 more videos on you guys reacting to the Eric Bischoff going in, something where you can say, like, here, what I think about Eric Bischoff going in, why I liked him, favorite memory, Eric Bischoff, and I could splice together a hell of a little, tribute video thing. I would do that. Yeah,
that would be a great thing to have, because, tonight, I pretty much The only thing that we got from JBL that I thought was funny at the end, he said anyone that he felt he wronged them or said something about them, they can go cry me a river snowflake. I don't apologize to anyone, and I am and then the audience said it with him, wrestling god. So there was that. It was funny, but it was very, very rushed, very quick.
I thought it would have been funny if he said, I made Mauro Ranallo leave. Or if he said, like...
Yeah,
fuck Mauro Ranallo.
I miss my days of SmackDown working with Mauro. Yeah, Davey Boy Smith.
Hey Mauro, how you doing?
Was good with his family. I just hate that they're not doing introductions. I get that they're doing videos, for the packages. Excuse me, my ringer's still on. But I hate the fact that they go ahead and haven't had people be introduced by actual people. Having Kane not be introduced, by The Undertaker feels like a crime. So many people tonight should have had a better introduction. I don't know why they needed to rush this. They should have just had the 2020 class come this year and do it, that way like you normally would.
Well,
I know they wanted to kind of limit it, but this has been really rushed tonight.
I can almost see that. You're right, Undertaker. I think Kane should be maybe inducting Undertaker potentially, but I don't know.
I think that's the plan next year when they wanted to save Taker as a big deal when they're back in front of fans. That was already said internally.
I would think that Daniel Bryan could have inducted Kane though, or somebody.
That would have made so much sense for Team Hell No, and that's a great idea. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Yeah. That's great. Juice and Thunder Liger, his tonight was really another one like super short and sweet.
Super respectful. He bowed like 7 times. He was like really trying to like.
So it was nice, but Shatner, I think he was being paid by the letter or the word because he was out of there in record time. I mean, that was like. He was like, I'm out. Sorry, thanks. This was great. Bye.
Well,
my wife's in the pool. I've got to go.
I've got to go. My wife's in the pool. She's drowning in the pool. I have to call 911 and tell them I can't rescue her.
Then they did Ray the
Shatner was as concerned about his wife as Chauvin was concerned about Floyd.
Yeah, being in the Hall of Fame. Ray the Crippler Stevens.
I think
Dr.
Shatner was embarrassed.
Williams.
I think he was embarrassed. I think he was not embarrassed, but I think he was like, listen, hey, thank you, man. This is so respectful. I love you all, and I've loved wrestling. This means a lot to me. I'm from Canada. We had wrestling. I'm William Shatner. Do you realize that we saw William Shatner? Do you know how old he is? He's 90.
Yeah, I know. That's the fact that.
Did you guys know that? When you watched William Shatner a few minutes ago accept the award, did you know he's fucking 90?
Courtney's grandmother is 92, and she drives still. She goes to the store. She's shopping. She's got all her wits about her, and she is as sarcastic as ever. Her hearing's the only thing that's a little gone, and I'm telling you, she's as spry and witty as ever. So you see Shatner, and I'm like, yeah, I can believe it. But had I not been used to seeing someone that elderly be as active, it's a shock to the system.
Dude, we've been watching Biden and Trump for the last couple. I mean, Shatner's got it more together.
Around, it's 70 apiece, exactly.
Can Shatner be the president? I mean, actually, he can't probably.
No, but still, that would be a hell of a presidential run. Who else did we get? Yeah, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Brickhouse Brown, Gary Hart, Baron Michelle Leone, and I think I said Ray the Crippler Stevens. So that was everybody in the Legacy You Don't Deserve Your Hall of Fame actual ring award. And then they had the Bellas. Sasha had her lovely flub not long before that. The Bellas, they did thank John Cena. They mentioned obviously Artem and Dan Bryan.
Yeah, they sure did. Hey, thanks for
thank John for teaching her about the business and opening up her fearless side. He opened up a lot more than that.
Thanks for making it untouchable for us to not be in the spotlight when I was dating you.
And then Titus O'Neil had a pretty touching speech, as we knew he would. The NWO was very entertaining. They gave them just enough time. Like, that was perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
That was the perfect length. It was fun, and everything Hogan said about jumping everybody after Mania and being like, them going for one more run had me more excited than probably anything at Mania.
Yeah.
Just because I just got into the moment. He got me going. As stupid as it is when you think about it from a logical standpoint, he just gets you into it. So
it was, dude. I want to see that happen. It's so ridiculous.
He's like, I think we need to make another run, brother. Maybe we'll I never watched this thing, and I'm like, Oh yeah, come on, go for it.
Yeah, they could have beat up the hurt business.
Yeah, that would be the reason why
that would have really worked out great.
Then we had Rob Van Dam.
5 white guys who probably called wrestlers the N-word back in the day, all jump in the fucking Hurt Business.
Yeah, no kidding. The NWO. Yeah, if Hogan breaks up the Hurt Business, that's the real nail in the coffin.
Well, they did, like Shawn Michaels and stuff, dude. Shawn Michaels. There's a lot of stories, and listen,
there's many stories.
I don't think these people are actually
and Triple H.
Yeah, I don't think these people are actually super racist. But they definitely I'm not trying to make this political. But I don't
think they're racist. I think they were just elitist, and anyone
that wasn't with them
was beneath them.
Right. Anybody that was beneath them or felt beneath them. If you were
subhuman.
Yeah. If you were a white guy, they called you a dumb jobber, loser, white trash or something. If you were a black guy, it's been said Sean called people the N-word at times. That's allegedly, and same thing with even Triple H. I don't know if Triple H ever, would do that, to be honest. Triple H, especially because he was a guy who was clean, he wasn't on drugs and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I don't think these guys are actually full-on racist, but they did say some things that if that ever was recorded of them saying it to a black man, like, whoa. It would be crazy if it came out now. But you know what I mean? The idea of the NWO, guys that also said some crazy shit back in the day, as we all did. We all said crazy shit back in the day, dude.
Sorry, I popped for Kane having pyro.
That was pretty crazy.
Let him have the stage pyro.
Light the whole fucking thing on fire. Yeah, have them show up and beat up the Hurt Business. Hulk Hogan, they can beat up the Hurt Business, and they're like, we got him, brother.
Yeah, like you said, you're not trying to make it political, but that was backstage politics at its finest. Yeah, so
I'm just trying to be funny and include the politics of today with how funny that would, how just politically incorrect in a way or whatever with everything it would be to have the NWO come down and beat up the new faction, and not only is it the new faction, but it's the all black new faction. Although Baron Corbin's broken down the color barrier now because now he's the Hurt Business, right? So
he's not actually in the Hurt Business,
but he works for the Hurt Business.
He's there's no affiliation. I think that's how they get out.
So Baron Corbin's
essentially, yeah, he's the bitch.
Baron Corbin's
I
want
honest feedback. I know I'm a bit of an idiot at times, but I had trouble finding the Hall of Fame stream on Peacock itself. I went in, I clicked channels, I clicked on WWE, and all that came up was what was live now, and that was WrestleMania 31 or 32. It was one of the older Manias from a few years ago, and I was like, where the hell is the Hall of Fame? I kept looking through all the WWE stuff. Right. Nothing showed up. Finally, I searched the words Hall of Fame, and it said, live as of 1 minute ago. Here's this. So I was able to click on it. But again, you can't start from the beginning. You can't rewind, nothing like that. But it was difficult to navigate. And it wasn't super intrusive or obtrusive, I should say. I found it, but it certainly wasn't easy. It wasn't anything that's a good UI. I couldn't find it at first, so I want to know: am I the only idiot, or did other people have trouble, or have they had issues with Peacock? We'll see what people say in the chat, but I am curious.
I got to it easily. I clicked on it and it said it was live, and I just clicked right on it. It was easy, but
see, I didn't have that option, and nothing popped up for me.
Right.
Nothing had said that. So
that's the thing is, I know what you're talking about because I've had trouble on like watching other things pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view was a trouble for me, and certainly searching old content is confusing because you have to like if you want to watch Backlash 2004. You can't just go to pay-per-views and search or search years. You have to type in Backlash and then type in seasons and then search the season. It's very fucking weird.
Frustrating.
Dude, it's stupid. Peacock sucks as far as, the navigational stuff.
Wow.
They need to...
Randy Viper's buying Mania on pay-per-view because he's not dealing with Peacock.
I'm buying
You're the third person. Now Joe's the fourth. You usually buy it just to have, a backup. But
it looks beautiful.
Now.
It looks beautiful on pay-per-view. It doesn't...
Yeah, you always want the better quality, but it's also, more of a guarantee.
Anybody who says, I've got a great internet connection, it looks great, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the best internet connection in the world. It is not broadcast in 1080p or 720p in full, and it is certainly not broadcast in full frame rate. You have a huge loss of frames. It's not even close. If you buy the pay-per-view,
there's
it looks
degradation from just their end streaming.
Oh, so dude, it
doesn't even matter about, you could have, gigabit internet. It's just the way that it's processed coming through Peacock or the network.
Yeah, exactly. You won't believe how beautiful it is if you buy it on pay-per-view. It's immaculate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I may not buy it. I mean, only because, yeah, I mean, $100 right now, I don't know. And I have it right here on Peacock, so it's like, I don't know if I'm going to buy it yet. I normally really haven't been buying it the last 3 years, only because I just felt the product is so bad, I'm not excited to watch it on the big screen and look beautiful. I think the last WrestleMania I ordered on pay-per-view was 34, maybe 33 or 34, and but that was even when the network was out. I was still ordering it on pay-per-view because it just looks so beautiful. But it's one of those things where we'll see.
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do.
The Soundwave 92.
Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Biggest thing that upset me was Molly Holly get her speech cut short. Vince got mad because he doesn't like being mentioned, so they cut her off.
Yeah, I heard that. That's multiple rumors about that. I don't know what the truth is, but I'm assuming she must have said things like, he gave me a chance, and he,
Yeah, I heard the same thing as well immediately, that as soon as she mentioned Vince, but it was odd because this wasn't live, so maybe they did edit it, and that's why they edited it, because she did say Vince, but why would they not include Vince's name drop? But it was very early on and pretty imperative to her speech, so maybe it was just too hard to edit that out, so they just cut it down elsewise.
Well, I don't think it's just
it's all speculation.
She probably went on about him, to be honest, and thought it would, I don't know, because it seemed like a lot of her theme, unfortunately, was a little bit self-hating, a little bit, or a little bit of like, her theme was. And I understand what she's saying, because, she didn't look like the beautiful, sexy diva girl. She came in, she was a little awkward, whatever. She always kind of seemed more like a girl that you wouldn't expect to be wrestling and stuff. And she was. And I think maybe part of her was a little bit like, like for all she hears about Vince being this, that, or the other thing, she probably felt like, no, I don't agree with any of this. He gave me a chance, and like I was not the typical, prototypical bikini girl or diva type, and I was out there wrestling, and so weren't people like Jazz. Was Jazz really Jazz was kind of like, didn't have that, kind of hot in a weird, in a different way, a brutality like
Ivory was pretty, but she wasn't that typical looker either, the Barbie doll sense.
Luna Vachon even had
especially, yeah,
she had some sex appeal in a way because she was like naked all the time in that outfit. But Vince did hire women who, Alundra Blaze, she would look like a foot. But no, I'm just kidding. Alundra Blaze, I think actually I'd leave Leah for. But no, he would hire women who didn't matter what they looked like. They added the sex appeal part to it, but that didn't mean that if you were a woman wrestler that could wrestle, that you wouldn't be on the show. They just used that to their advantage, that they had all these hot women. So I think Molly Holly was trying to sort of say that, get that out there. And that's probably why she couldn't help but mention it, and why it probably got cut, because Vince was like, well, no, you're not dragging me into this, which is we always know about. How Vince says that. Nicole Bass was, very, and different women can be like that. Like there's certain, like there are different women. There's trans people who are, who are converted and things like that, who I look at and be like, damn, I didn't even know that was a girl, or it was a guy and is a girl now, or I wouldn't even, I'd bang that guy who was a girl, or who is a girl that was a guy. But I'd look at, somebody like, but there may be an actual like born female who I'm like, no, I'm not attracted to that person. So it's just like, it doesn't matter. I think that was her point, was it doesn't matter what she looked like. She already looked like a mom type of person, but when she was wrestling as Molly Holly.
And I know we all say it, and it's been said so many times, like, oh, she shaved her hair to get into Mania. But still, think about that. For a woman, hair is often your identity and your sense of beauty, especially in that time where they weren't going to do much with a storyline past that with her. It was just like a one-time payoff. Shave your head. It's not going to lead to, a straight edge society, or, there's nothing bigger to come from this. It's just that one pop of, hey, you lost your hair. But she did it just to get the women's title on Mania. That has to be recognized.
I would love to see Jazz just sit on me. All right? Jazz just gets on you and just, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're talking about WWE Hall of Fame. We're going to be talking about Hall of Fame for a few more minutes. Then we're going to jump into WrestleMania, remembering WrestleMania, and then we're going to record it off air. So, but it will be going up. So don't worry. Or we'll do it here. I don't even know yet. You know? But I think we're going to record it because we wanted to go up separately. Because this is already, we're into the Hall of Fame stuff. So we're going to talk a little more Hall of Fame. Then we're going to get into the intro of remembering WrestleMania. And then we're going to go offline. Then we're going to record it. And then I'm going to upload it for you guys and have a nice little thumbnail there. And as you guys remember, the last time we were doing Remember WrestleMania, we ended on WrestleMania 32. And it was
2031. So you're on 32 now.
No.
We have to start on 32.
We're going to start on 32. We ended on 31. And 31,
32, where you were down in Florida for.
Oh, right? Shit, I was there. Well, I came home, but I mean, I was there. But... So that we never talked about that. So, Mania, we're going to remember 32,
where the
33.
Shit show of all shit shows really started and progressively took over the next
I can't believe it's been 6 years since me and JB and JD on episode 3 all talked about WrestleMania's, I think it was WrestleMania's 22 to 31.
Somewhere around that.
But part 3, part 2, and part 1 are all available for you guys to go listen to. If you haven't heard them, there's 7 hours worth of content. And they're amazing. I really, really love those podcasts. And me and Jake are going to continue.
I reviewed NXT on my own that night before. And then you and we weren't sure if you would be back in time for the Mania review. And Leah and I were trying to figure it out, but you made it back in time. So.
Oh, 32 was Dallas, says Randy Viper.
Yeah, 31 was...
32 was Dallas. 33 was Florida, is what he's saying.
Yeah, 33 is.
So I wasn't there for 32.
You went to. Yeah.
Joe,
the next year you went to. That was down in Florida.
The villain.
I always messed up the numbers.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them. I mean, that's why I've got to look at the fucking cheat sheet because I don't remember. Shit.
I remember some of the matches. I guarantee for 32, I think I remember most, but
I don't remember much.
I don't want to look at it yet. So.
This drone footage is blurry almost. I thought it looked cleaner than this. Oh, shit. I see.
32, all the champs from the year before were out. Wasn't that the issue? I remember 410 Byron said that as well, but I'm pretty sure that was
here you go. Yeah, here's the shot. There's the ship. I can see how it's shaped. See this? That's the pirate ship stage. See that? That's a mast.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that's the Buccaneers ship back there.
Yeah,
look how big their ship is compared.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the stage. And then there's going to be masts on both sides. It looks like of the turnbuckles. I saw it more finished, and I'm telling you that the pirate ship looks fucking incredible.
Oh, look at the masts.
It's stunning.
Steve Austin.
And they have.
Oh, is that a crow's nest?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that.
That's what I'm saying. It's so detailed, but look how much bigger it is compared to their pirate ship.
Why is this drone footage so blurry?
It's just...
I swear to God, on Twitter, when I saw it on Twitter earlier, it was way bigger. It was like...
I think the original video was... Because this is re-uploaded to YouTube.
Re-uploaded, yeah, that's what it is. Look at that mast. Oh, that's going to be great. That's amazing.
Like I said, it just looks... I don't want to overhype it, but this is how it was supposed to look last year, obviously, but they've been adding to it since they had a year to not have to spend money on the stage 2 years in a row, so they just used extra budget onto this. Apparently the pyro, they had to get some type of extra special the amount of pyro they want to set off.
They're gonna blow the ship up.
Basically, they're gonna go ahead.
They should go full on what's the Boston movie? What's the Boston the bombing movie from back in the 90s? Not the actual Boston bombing that happened later, but the Blown Away.
Blown Away.
They're going to go full Blown Away and blow up the ship. They're going to blow the fucking ship up, which is ironic. Yes, it was a movie called Blown Away.
Or Speed 2.
It was Blown Away where this Irish terrorist guy was lighting off bombs and killing people in Boston. And then about 17 years later, we actually had an actual bombing.
I only saw...
Or it wasn't really a bombing. It was like a homemade, fucking pressure cooker bomb.
I didn't see screens, Joe, either. Randy Viper asked, and I honestly don't know. I didn't see it. Like I said, the angle that I saw from the photo, it looks like it was kind of like I could see a good 2/3 of the ship and then the front 2 corners of the hard cam side. So the ramp looks cool. Like it looks like the ramp is going to be another one of those like fully illuminated ramps where it's got the screen all the way through.
Yep.
So I think that's going to be their focus. Like the ground will probably be where the LEDs are more. But no matter what, apparently they're supposed to set off some next level pyro here.
Let's see it, baby.
I can't wait.
Let's see that pyro. I'm hyped for that. That looks cool. See, I'm getting excited. I'm not excited for any matches, but
no, but the event itself.
Oh my God! Look at this fucking donation. Oh my God. I took acid.
Joe, if possible, you should invite Luke Crow just to join for a portion of the Remembering WrestleMania stuff.
I know.
I'm so glad you and Jake are doing this. I am so hyped for it. In my opinion, WrestleMania 33 has been the best of past 5 years by far. Rollins versus Triple H.
Rollins versus Triple H. That was a pretty good match, actually. That was, in fact, that was the WrestleMania. And by the way, thank you for the donation. I took acid during WrestleMania 33. That was the WrestleMania that I.
Yeah, that was the one you were down for at Florida.
No, it wasn't.
Before.
Was
33?
It?
That was down in Florida.
So
yeah.
Okay, so 33.
That's when the Hardys returned, and
33 was the WrestleMania that I predicted could potentially be like WrestleMania 8. Because I thought there were so many matches, and I thought, Seth Rollins and Triple H was a little bit like the Macho Man, Ric Flair, and then there was something else. I can't remember the matches, actually. But I remember thinking...
What else was on that? Hold
on.
We
was
had,
so much.
Because you and I were there at SmackDown before, so we had the AJ and Shane build-up. Because remember, AJ got put through.
Well, let's wait. Let's not.
By Shane.
We shouldn't do it now. We got to record this. Let's wait till we record.
But I'm just So.
But yeah. It was a good one.
What else? But
that was a good match, though. I remember thinking that was a solid match, and
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it quite lived up to WrestleMania.
Well, it was the main event
but
of Undertaker losing, and you're thinking he was retired, and it was a bad long match with Roman.
Yeah.
It was just very drawn out, and that was a terrible way to leave the fans.
But even that. I got to be honest, I had sort of been predicting, like, I hope it's like WrestleMania 8. There's so many things that could happen. And it was similar.
You did say that a lot.
It was similar to WrestleMania 8 because even though the match was bad, so wasn't Sid versus Hogan and the botch of Warrior coming down. But it was exciting at the end because Warrior came down. And so I felt that it was also sad at the end when Undertaker, whatever. Anyway, we should save it. But I know what you're saying.
Shit bomb.
Donator.
Joe and Jake, why are you no touch PP no stream? Just go and touch PPL.
Oh.
If you don't know how to touch PP, I will teach you to touch PP. Just no touch poopy.
The great Khali, thank you for the $5. Pee-pee poo-poo.
Oh, thank you, Khali. Yeah, the last time, hopefully WWE, they I don't imagine they'll have issues because it's such a limited capacity for fans. But do you remember the last time that they were live with people? They had all the friggin' transit issues that stopped. They went ahead and I was thinking back because I knew we were going to cover Mania. I'm trying to think back, like what was the big thing, and I was like, oh yeah, that was the Mania that was super long, 35. That was so long, and I still can't recall all the matches. So hopefully you remember more than I do.
What's my name?
No, I'm gonna have to pull out the video.
It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my
chocolate blend.
You know what be messed up? That old white guy got his Hall of Fame award, and when he reached the back and after 51 years he's fired.
He probably is going to be gone soon. That's why they figured, let's get him this award before he gets COVID or something.
That's right, Casey. And don't forget, Joe, I still have our predictions for tomorrow night's AEW. I said that AEW will get 810,000. You said 730,000.
All right.
And then next week, AEW, you said 890. I said 995.
But this is bullshit. I didn't know Tyson was going to be there. What the fuck?
We neither one of us did, but it's also still going up against NXT. So.
Right. You become
I still think NXT is going to win.
A shit bomb.
I think the legacy wing is more for the obscure wrestlers who made contributions to the art.
Like Jushin Thunder Liger, is he in the legacy wing?
No, he's in the actual Hall of Fame.
So I'm confused.
Yeah, the legacy, they had Greg the Hammer Valentine and a few of the others that I mentioned earlier.
What?
That's why I was...
What's the difference?
That's why I was confused with it.
I don't get that.
Congratulations to Mikkel and Eugene for being elected to the lame tard Halloween shame, both wearing shirts stained with spit and food.
Oh my God.
Who'd they have? What did I say?
Gary
Hart, Steve Williams, Baron Michelle Leone. They had the Crippler, Ray Stevens, Brickhouse Braun. I mean, Steve Williams, Dr. Death should not be in the legacy at least. I mean, of everybody. Gary Hart, the Crippler, I would say as well, Ray Stevens, but I don't know.
Put Dr. Tom Pritchard in there too. Is he in there? Tom Pritchard's not in, is he?
I don't believe so.
Man, he's got to go in soon.
I'm not sure.
That guy's done so much.
I could be wrong. I don't think so, but
God damn it! Put him in.
Basically the Hall of very, very good. Yeah, Mario. I get you. I get what Mario Rodriguez is saying. It just seems more like an insect.
What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend.
Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Who's Lord Draken?
Lord Draken? It's Bolsey. Thank you, Bolsey. Well, I don't know.
Draken,
that sounds like familiar, though. That name sounds...
Are you talking about Power Rangers, or are you talking about...
I don't know, but that name sounds familiar. It sounds familiar, but I don't even know. I'm not sure. Sounds like a... Remember Lord Darkin, the guy that used to watch the show for years and years and years? That guy watched me for 9 years, and then he turned out to hate me all of a sudden.
Yeah,
which seems to be a theme with a lot of people, so... But, yeah, Lord Darkin or Lorne Darkin or something like that. I remember that guy.
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do. What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello.
People just love the Duncachino donation, man. They hit it up.
Joe, can you bring up your oldest vid? You know, the one I sent on Twitter? That whole vid could have been from 2021 and I wouldn't have been shocked.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit of it. I'll play a little bit of it in a few minutes, Soundwave. Yeah, that was the first ever State of the WWE where I said, I'm done watching wrestling. And then I decided to make a whole channel about it instead. I'm like, I'm done watching wrestling. I'm out. And then I decided to create a whole channel on it. Because that's what I realized. I realized I had a lot to complain about. And I was like, well, I'm going to do my complaints online.
Hey,
then...
Joe. The great Khali Bailey spoke.
Oh.
I'm glad they put subtitles when he talked.
Right.
Joe, have you watched The Longest Yard? The great Khali is in the movie. He could actually run with the ball really good. He should have stayed with football. Yeah,
I'm surprised they haven't tried to cancel Stone Cold because he said the N-word in the movie, you know. I'm surprised. Like, oh, you did well, the director, I'm playing a character who's an asshole. Like, of course. Pisharo, thank you for the $3, man. Yeah, Longest Yard, I saw it when it came back like fucking forever ago. I watched it when it first came out, thought, all right, I was kind of dumb, but I was entertained. And then I watched it one other time, and then I never watched it again. I was like, it was fun for, to watch for a second.
Shit bum.
That was about it.
Fuck Sasha Banks.
Damn. Spaz Phoenix podcast. You don't like Sasha? She's a big NXT girl too.
He's never liked Sasha.
How can you not like the fucking queen of NXT? Like, what are you on crack, dude? Fuck you, Spaz. I think you're kind of a cocksucker, to be honest. Oh, I love NXT so much, but I don't love the girl who put it on the map. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? Fucking
wow.
Chop
look at
your hands
Sasha's
off.
track record since going to the main roster.
But I don't care about
that. There's a lot to argue against.
Because, well, then there's no point in anybody because they all suck.
What's been the best opening hype / fire-up match for Mania the past 10 years? Mine has to be Seth versus Lesnar at Mania 35, Seth versus Balor versus Miz at 34, or the ladder matches for a belt at 32 and 31.
What's the best opening hype match for Mania in the past 10 years? Seth
31
versus
was
Balor.
Really good with the Dean Ambrose going through that ladder spot with Luke Harper. That was awesome. And Daniel Bryan wins the IC title. Like, that was cool. I think 32 was the one we'll talk about it, but shortly, yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to. I don't remember all opening matches for recent stuff, but
I would have to say one of the better ones was Mania 31. Because you're saying 10 years, Mania 31.
Yeah, that was the IC
ladder match.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Yep, that's got to be it. I remember Luke Harper was in that one. Dean Ambrose got taken out, right?
Yeah, and that's what set up the cash in later on with Seth, because Seth always got screwed over by Dean, but Dean got taken out earlier in the night, so it all made sense.
Right. Exactly.
And they had that awesome RKO spot there.
Daniel Bryan got to win the belt too. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I'd go Mania 31, but I have to watch the other ones to, and we're going to do that tonight. We're literally about to do that. In fact, we have to get out of here in the next 5-10 minutes to get to it. I got to be up at 5:30. Yeah, I got to be up early too. We may not even get to much of it. We may do part 1 tonight and not even do part 2. Dude, my screen is all fucked up. It's flashing. Is it flashing on the air too? Or is it flashing just for me? My screen's been doing this thing where it flashes and flickers.
Normal on my end. But
it's only my left monitor. My right monitor's not doing it. I checked the connections and the connectors are in.
Cable, but...
No, man, I swear to God, this monitor is about to bust, which is crazy because it's a brand new monitor. It was $300 and it's wonderful.
Maybe just try a new cable altogether.
Maybe, but I'm concerned.
I've had cables go bad twice already on one of my monitors.
That would be glorious if it was just the cable.
I bought 2 new HDMI cables because I buy cheap ones. That's what happens,
All right.
Buy one, buy right, whatever.
Let's hope it's the cable.
Shit bum.
Be poor, buy cheap. Buy
I will teach you to touch pee-pee. No eat poopy. I will teach you to eat pee-pee.
Thank you, great Khali. I really appreciate it.
You ever just finish and you finish all over your hand and then you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize the webcam was still on. You're like, I should have realized that no
doubt about it.
I had a conference with Danny's teacher and I left the webcam on. I didn't know.
My God, imagine that.
Oh, God,
great Khali, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Really, really appreciate that, brother. Good to hear you and good to see you and good to get wet with you, brother.
You do hear about that shit all the time, though. It is hilarious with the Zoom teachers, being like, "Oh my God, I've seen parents beat the crap out of their kids," or
just picking their noses,
having sex in the background,
just picking a nose in front of the teacher.
What's my name?
Here comes it's Bolsey with $5 coming in.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Lord Draken, I meant.
Oh, Lord Draken? Do you know? I don't even know who that is. It's Bolsey.
He's talking about somebody on Discord. He's not talking about Power Ranger Evil Tommy.
Yeah, no shit.
Story.
I don't know where they got it. Well, I think Bobby left it for them.
Bolsey, I never actually saw that storyline. I like probably the first 2 or 3 seasons of Power Rangers is all I've ever seen, but I was huge into it when I was a kid. Massive. I saw him live, had all the toys. Loved it back then.
I was too old for Power Rangers, but I did see a little bit of them.
You were like a couple years, like 3 years past, I think, really.
Yeah.
And I was just at the end of it too. Like I was just at that right age.
I was watching wrestling probably more. That was my Power Rangers. I moved.
As I got out of the Power Ranger spells when I went more into the hardcore wrestling phase. So
yeah,
like hardcore into wrestling, not hardcore wrestling.
I probably got into. Yeah, it was probably like I was into real movies at that point. I was into real movies. I was into Star Trek even more, and wrestling. And I think I moved out of the Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles stuff, and I just skipped Power Rangers completely because it just seemed so. It was too cheesy to me. I was like, this is lame. Like, but
it was cheesy, but I liked the fight scenes, and something about it clicked to me. And
it was the fight was kind of cool. Like I remember at a point like thinking it was kind of neat, but I was just too old. I thought the Ninja Turtles fight scenes were cool too when I was a kid. But then
I'm like, who is this Pink Ranger, and what is this throbbing erection that I have? It's just
a
lot to experience.
Well, you were way younger for that, so that's just really creepy that you had erections.
I had a massive crush on the Pink Ranger. I'm telling you.
I don't even know what that is.
6, 7. I think everybody that watched Power Rangers had a crush.
Leah
on
just
Pink
said
Ranger.
I didn't like the Putty Patrol, but where I'm from, that's like ass rape. So I don't know what that's
the
she's
Putty
talking
Patrol
about.
Creepy. So I believe.
I don't know what that is.
Those things would go around, all creepy. Like it was weird.
Oh,
they were like a bunch of traveling creepy pedophiles.
Were they gray looking?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
I know what they are.
Them in their chest thing. They had to punch them.
Yeah. See, like after
If you hit
watching.
in the chest, it explode into
After
pieces.
watching Ninja, all right. So think about this. After watching Ninja Turtles movies, where the Ninja Turtles were kicking foot soldiers' asses, and they were actually having ninja fights, and the Ninja Turtles were cool. Watching the Power Rangers, where everybody was like, "Ooh," it was just like, this is like,
it was
this
very
sucks.
goofy, and especially like the
but it was like
non-Power Ranger moments with like the bullies, Bulk and Skull. That was always like exceptionally cringy, but it just all of it worked so well. Amy Jo Johnson, she was in Hardpoint, a few other things.
I guess my point is again that the Ninja Turtles cartoon had great fight scenes that seemed more cool. The Ninja Turtles movie definitely did, and then like Power Rangers was just so Power Rangers was like if you were like, listen, Ninja Turtles is a little too violent. I want my 5-year-old to watch like just completely ridiculous, goofy stuff. Like, and that's what it felt like to me. So it was like not only
live action Turtles was darker too. It
exactly
was pretty dark and realistic and gritty. And
I would say Ninja Turtles 2, right? Ninja Turtles 2 was more like Power Rangers in a way, right? There was a lot of goofy,
more friendly, and that's why they had the song, the Go Ninja Go with Vanilla Ice, and they included crappy, Bebop and Rocksteady, but still it was, the mutants.
They couldn't do Bebop and Rocksteady because they didn't have the licensing for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that was their version of it, with the mutant thing there, and they wanted to make it more like cartoonish with those things and less scary.
Leah, did you want to say something to me? Leah came down here, but didn't. I thought Leah had something important to tell me.
That's why, like, when I got out of the Power Rangers phase, like the Mortal Kombat movie came out that I loved. That was another one that was great. Things like that, but. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because Bullseye said Lord Draken, and I actually watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I watched a Power Rangers thing of like, where are they now? What happened with the stories? It was a thing on YouTube that was recommended, and they talked about that story. But Bullseye is actually referring to someone in the Discord. So
no idea who
I don't know
is.
who this person is. He wasn't saying to ban him or anything. He was just curious if anybody knew who the person he's arguing with is.
Probably just another troll person.
Just another troll. That's what I'm guessing.
Bullseye, you donate to me, so you're going to get trolled. You're going to get attacked.
No matter what.
Obviously people attack all the companies that I have shows on. People attack all my channels. People attack all my stuff, my Twitters. I have a whole thing. I have a lawyer looking at this point, actually. We got people online admitting that they're gonna attack, try to get me taken off of things, and they have, and then I've fixed it, but there's still people doing it. So
I'm after in real life.
I've got people's names now. Trust me, man, I've got a lawyer looking at it. But I'm sure it's because you donated the other day. You donated the other day. Now people attack you. It's intimidation. It's obviously, we know what's going on. I trust me, bro. Something will be done soon because now it's gone far enough that, you know what I mean? I've had to like talk with a company who was like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, this is a troll thing. Oh, wow, okay. And then like I've had to fight to figure it out, and then I fixed it. And now I have the documentation from the company of who was tweeting and who was emailing them, and now we have people on air admitting that they're it's just a big thing. So it's going to be it's some kind of slander or attempt of whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Bullseye, you donated last week, so yeah, you're going to get attacked by all these people. Obviously, it's just like Nikki J, the weed god, is the same thing. Everybody, this happens to everybody. So what are you gonna do? It's exactly why I'm stepping away a lot from YouTube. People want me off the internet and want me off YouTube. I'm just gonna oblige. I'll get the fuck out of here. Fuck doing this every day, all day, when people can just take it away by being assholes. Fuck doing that. I don't want to be here anymore. I just fuck it. Fuck you. I don't want to do it. Let's see what people said here. Yeah. Moss Blaze.
Smoke weed every day.
Moss Blaze tipped $4.20. Fuck Mania, fuck WWE, F. Ryback and F. Bill Goldberg.
Damn. Well, I mean, I guess most of that I agree with. Moss Blaze, thank you, brother. Much appreciated, dude. How you been? Smoke up, baby.
And like Matt the Misfit said, it was funny hearing Kane finally apologize for setting JR on fire. So, that's good that he was able to settle that difference. I bet you people will look too far into that because JR is in AEW and the forbidden door is open, just like Juice and Thunder Liger was in New Japan and even brought up New Japan and again, the forbidden door.
That was funny that he said that. But I mean, what do they get? They put it in, man. They probably had Shinsuke translate it, and they probably, shit.
The only one they should have cut more time on was Great Khali.
Well, I think, he always struggles with English, so I think keep it short and sweet with him. I think he knows that. I think I
would have cut it down even more, honestly.
Oh, really?
Like they gave too much time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought you were saying he was short.
No. I would have made it even faster. As quick as that was, and it was edited. It was brief. I would have made it. Great Khali, thank you.
Other day I was playing in the backyard with the people.
He doesn't know why I can't be there. It's like, do you not know what COVID is, Khali? Probably not.
We don't. We have like 700 billion people More people die in his country of starvation than of COVID, so I'm sure he's like, I don't give a fuck about that. The Rose Gaming, thanks for 15 months subscribed. And Sith Negan, thanks for 24 months subscribed. I don't know if that's accurate, by the way. More people die of starvation in that country. I don't know if that's true. Somebody look that up and find the stats. I don't know.
And no apologies for Katie Vick, TKO Rising, no. And then the 2021 legacies were Dick the Bruiser, Pez Wheatley, Buzz Sawyer, Ethel Johnson, Paul Bosch. Like, again, nobody that I was that familiar with, and names I've heard in passing, but okay, like if you're not going to have them be part of the Hall of Fame, then just don't do it at all. Again, I'm not crazy about the legacy section.
How long was this tonight? 4 or 5 hours?
3 hours. 3 hours. So it was much shorter than what we usually got, and they had 2 years worth of inductees going in half the time.
I thought it was well done for that.
The pacing was okay, but the thing is just not having inductees be brought in by somebody, that was weird. And not having an audience. I know they felt like they had to, but they didn't. They didn't need to. They could have had this. They could have kept the people receiving the awards, even if they really wanted to, and did them via screen and just had the fans there live if that was your worry.
Well, I just think they wanted to avoid all that, but then if you save people,
so much more beneficial.
There's such a backlog of people. If you and back in the day, when they did the Hall of Fame, it was a private ceremony.
They're Hall of Fame.
Well, it was a private ceremony, and nobody even knew about it, when they would put people in the Hall of Fame. So back in the 90s. So, I don't know. I thought it was all right. It's weird, but what are you going to do?
Kane was good to hear from him, and he thanked Paul Bearer and Taker and Mark Calloway for believing in him. And
I hope they bring him out at WrestleMania. Bring them all up on the pirate ship on WrestleMania. That'd be cool.
They usually do bring them out at Mania, so I imagine they will have them come out, and especially with Keen, I'm sure they'll have his pyro go off.
The crowd will be there, and blow the pirate ship up. And
about the pyro thing, we keep hearing.
Whoa, Gatekeeper
jokes.
Drew, 30 months. Thank you, Gatekeeper Drew. Thanks, Drew. Love you, buddy.
Thank you, Drew. I honestly, though, Vince does not view AEW as competition. We knew this a year ago at WrestleMania after he let all those stars go. The Black Friday that we had after Mania last year. Mm-hmm. During a pandemic, he let all these people go. When he heard AEW was announced, he's like, I got to give Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson more money. I almost said Luke Anderson. I got to give the Good Brothers more money. So he signed them to a 5-year deal. Then he saw what AEW was. He saw the ratings they got up until Mania last year. He said, okay, I don't need to be worried. They're not this juggernaut that's going to destroy us overnight. This is not something I need to be immediately concerned with. So he let people go. Obviously, if he was truly concerned, he wouldn't be letting people go. He wouldn't, you wouldn't have, even no matter what the deal was, Andrade wouldn't have had a no non-compete clause and so on and so forth. So we see some things change, but still, it's still a far cry from what it needs to be.
Right. I do want to thank the $25 producers, man. Thank you guys so much for going above and beyond with that.
Who wants me to call in and talk in Mikkel's language of my mom threw me down the stairs trying to fix my brain?
Oh, my God. Well, some people think that she choked him while trying to get with him, if you know what I mean. But that's a sick thing. I'm not going to, really give that too much credence. AJ Adams, very sick. Donation. But AJ... Jesus. The fuck?
Would explain a lot.
AJ Adams, yeah. Listen, we're rewriting our own history at that point. Thank you, man. AJ Adams, I'm going to let some other donations roll off that are coming in, and then me and Jake are going to record some of the Remembering WrestleMania for you guys.
Bad news for some Finn Balor fans. He says returning to the Demon would be taking a step back.
Along with your WrestleMania reviews, you guys should play a couple minutes of your review from 32, 33, 33, 34, 35, 36. That would be fun also, as well you get to hear your raw reactions at the time.
It's a great point. It's an interesting point.
Could be fun.
What are we going to start at 32?
Yes, and I guess Logan Paul being backstage the other day made a good impression on people this time. Last time he was there, he was filming his vlog backstage, and he acted like a total asshole and really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Look at that, Jake.
This time, he's much better. So
that's the WrestleMania, the Joe Cronin show sign, and the bear.
Yes, indeed, I remember that.
So look at that piece of wood exploding over there. 317,000 views.
Crazy.
The Joe Cronin Show sign.
This is good.
I love going on Twitter and seeing pics of girls in bikinis and shit, and I wonder why I'm seeing them. Then above each photo says Casey is raw like this photo. I went on his friends list and about 80 of it is cam girls. Anyways, I love you guys.
Jesus Christ, Casey.
He knows what he's
What are you
into.
doing, man? What do you can't you commit to the girl you're with now? Is this, what do you... all right, well, listen, that's disgusting, Deftones.
Did you just donate to Joe?
Unbelievable.
Did you just donate to Joe?
Oh, Harry Steve.
Thank you for the donation. And because you donated, I'm going to feast myself in the bunghole.
Ooh, Harry Steve, don't do that to me.
Speaking of getting attacked, did you guys hear about the 8 Thoughts and Drifter drama situation?
No.
It makes your situation look a party. Swatting guns, people in ski masks at people houses, live streaming with a gun on them to possibly kill other creators.
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
I know 8 Thoughts has always been kind of a push the envelope guy. I mean, the golden cock, as he calls himself, and all that. But he's always gone like been a bit overzealous and go over the line.
What does that mean, though? What the hell is that about? I don't even know what that is.
Call of Duty YouTubers.
Oh, I hate Call of Duty people are scumbags.
And 8 Thoughts and Drifter used to fight with each other. 8 Thoughts would call
Joe and
Drifter
Jake, I appreciate the content you both put out together. Hope you guys have a good, enjoyable week and continue to kick butt with the awesome work you guys do.
Thank you, D. Welsh. It's been a nightmare this week. D. Welsh, thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum.
So he would call him, transgender, and he would say that Drifter is a female, and 8 Thoughts eventually had, I thought, buried the hatchet between the two of them, but I guess it got bad. I haven't watched this nonsense in ages, but I'm talking, this is like 2012 Call of Duty fights.
I mean,
what year did Black Ops 2 come out? I can actually, because my name's on this shirt from when I used to play. I can prove it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were wearing a Call of Duty shirt. I just called. No, but I mean, listen, dude. If you do, I'll tell you what, man.
This is the only thing that fits me at this point. So
is that real? So
that's how old this shirt was.
They're trying to really kill each other. Is that what you're saying to me?
Apparently, for the donation, that's what's going on.
So, if you, I mean, first of all, I'd call it, the police should find them if that's the case. But if they didn't, I mean, dude, I would just call my selfie friends and I'd be like, oh, you wanna? That's funny. That's pretty funny. I'd be like,
roster shirt. I'm just too fat and was too fat and I don't have many clothes that fit me anymore. So,
dude, if somebody got that real, with me, I would send the real people after them. I'd be like, all right, let's play. I got nothing to lose anymore. Let's go. We can play who can kill who first. Like, if you want to go there. I mean, like, that's a terrible thing, and like, you really want life to go that way.
So you're talking 2012, back when I was watching JD for no wrestling but Call of Duty content. These guys were out to kill each other. And this stuff is still going on. I mean, my God.
We can only hope that they do kill each other. I mean, to be honest.
It seems like it's going that way.
Well, here's the beginning of WrestleMania 32.
What a classic.
Roman, huh? Let's see what happens.
Is dead. Why the fuck didn't Charlotte win the women's championship? Why?
She did.
Explain it. Sasha. Fuck. Fuck. Oh my God, I love Seth Rollins.
Hey, it's Nikki T.
Else, like, you could nitpick, you could maybe argue about. Rack mine, thank you for the donation. The one thing you cannot fucking argue about is why the fuck did Sasha fucking win when Ric Flair is doing this shit for the last 6 fucking months?
I can't even get the thing right because I'm that angry. Like, I'm angry. I'm all over the place.
Whatsoever.
Look at JB. JB's like, here we go again. He's gonna flip out.
Story other than Dean's crazy and Brock Lesnar's the beast. But it's okay. You're right. Hell yeah, you dumb son of a bitch. But let me tell you this.
Over Sasha's body and have Mark Henry lick it off.
Swerve Russo.
Disappointed. Fuck WWE. I'm gonna start fucking watching Mid-South or something.
Thank you guys for adding 400 subscribers to my channel in the last 30 minutes.
That's not gonna happen this year. Look at how drunk I look. 400 subscribers to my channel in the last 5 minutes. Now this year will be. Thanks for the 50 subs, everybody.
What a great flashback that is, though.
There's lots of timestamps.
We're wrestling in the match. Michael Cole fucking sucks. Get fucking more Ronaldo on the fucking announce team. Michael Cole doesn't know who Charlotte or fucking Becky Lynch is. He thinks they're all fucking Sasha Banks and JBL.
I thought they were all Sasha Banks about fucking 9 minutes ago. Yeah.
Has no balls to tell him at least one time, hey, Michael, that's not fucking Sasha.
Might have been the joke, but I think I really was wrong.
You mean Sasha Michael? You mean fucking Charlotte Michael? You mean Becky Michael? Get the fuck out of here! Give me a hell yeah! But it's okay. You're right. Hell yeah, you dumb son of a bitch.
There's a lot of timestamps.
Because you have 3 kids and you don't have a house and your life sucks other than this fucking show and your wife's pussy. Stephanie Gaping Flaps. Listen, let me tell you guys something.
$100.
Oh my god!
I was about to go off on something and then a big dono came in. That was pretty funny watching that. Wow, 2,400 likes on that video. Crazy. That was back when wrestling was so hot.
Night. I miss doing the shows with you, me, and Bailey when we had that. Jesse would call in and
wow. And when we had fucking 317,000 views,
all thousands upon thousands watching live when people still liked wrestling.
Well, not only did people still like wrestling, they still liked watching me. But now everybody has seen me a million. They go, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's gonna just be mad. I don't know.
I think we just got to get out of this pandemic and let wrestling get back to being in front of fans and people start
assault him.
That.
There goes the bear.
Oh, the vacuum box, that solid steel vacuum box.
Here we go. We got the story behind this is that we got shipped 2 baby cribs because one baby crib was defective and they didn't need any of the stuff back and it was broken. So I just took it out back and broken more.
Yep.
So.
Cronin calling for the power
because
bomb.
Finn needed the baby crib. He has it up in his room.
The bear blocked it. The bear, oh my goodness.
What a Canadian destroyer from the bear.
I think Dr. Seuss boxers is what I have.
They will face up.
And then I would face the bear in an actual ring after this.
I'm commandoing it now, Joe. That's the way to do it.
Well, there you go. Remembering WrestleMania 32, the Joe Cronin review.
Take your pants off.
We do gotta
Don't
move.
Worry about there. No. Listen to me. Take your pants off.
You want me to take my pants off?
I want you to take your pants off. The audience wants it.
You know, one other thing about WrestleMania 33, the year after that is the year that me and JD went down to WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was the one I was confusing the year with because I remember the Hardys returned and you guys were down there. You were talking to Matt, and they were still like, "Will they? Won't they?" They hadn't signed anything at that point.
But
then they finally did agree, and then the WWE like whisked them away in a private car. It was crazy.
My sad point about it, though, is look at that 132,000. So you can see how the diminishing amounts of views every year would happen.
We shared that tweet today that shows, and I know people are arguing and going nuts. And thank you to the Rose Gaming for subscribing for 15 months as well before. Thank you.
Well, look at this. What the fuck? This is back when YouTube actually broke up the donations.
Yes.
On the video. That's so crazy. Yep. I haven't seen that.
But you look back, 2015, we had 4.2 million
clam baked
viewers for the go home for Raw, and now you have 1.7 million.
Wow, I mean,
it went 4.2, 3.3, 3.2.
Oh, this was the Undertaker WrestleMania, wasn't it?
Yes, that was the one where Undertaker lost to Roman Reigns.
You know how I figured that out? I looked at my eyes.
Yeah, because we were so emotional. We came in tears.
I was crying.
He kissed his wife. He took off his duster, his gloves, his hat, left everything in the ring. They disassembled the whole stage and ring and left his stuff there. We thought he was done, and it was such a bad match too, but it didn't matter because we had such respect for Undertaker.
The story at the end was the big thing.
Blown away.
It was the story at the end of him putting the clothes down.
Of him essentially retiring, and they had this long, drawn-out match that just was. Not good, and it felt like I want to look up the timing of it if anyone knows, but I swear it was like a 22 minute match, but it felt like 40 minutes, especially because of the entrances. Roman's was long, Taker's was even longer. Then everything that happened afterwards, it was like an hour of the whole thing.
There's Drew Bar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, there's Drew Bar. Still here with it, going strong.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun during this Mania too. But yeah, we got to get out of here, man. We can actually go talk about WrestleMania as much as we can before we got to get out of here and go to bed. So I would love to hang out with you guys all night and party a little bit more, but we just got to do what we got to do. I'm gonna have the video up as soon as we get it done. It may not go up until it may go up tomorrow. Part 1 of Part 4 may go up tomorrow. It may not go up till Thursday. But we'll figure it out. But we're gonna get to recording right now. Play the last donation.
Just started watching tonight, but don't know if you guys covered it. Money in the Bank is the show right after Mania. Going to be held in Thunderdome and not at WWE headquarters like last year where Corbin threw Ray off the building. Hit the like
Sunday,
button.
May 16th. And then Backlash is going to be the pay-per-view after that, taking place June 20th. And they're both going to be in the Yuengling Center in the Thunderdome. So they're still not making plans to go back to fans all the way through June. That sucks.
Remember, think about how funny it was that we were like last year, where they're like, oh, they're going to be back in a couple weeks. They're going to be back in June. They're going to be back in September.
We'll be done by Easter in 23 minutes. Thank you, Ryan Romano. Yeah, the match was only 23 minutes, but all in all, that Taker thing was like an hour segment almost.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I remember, we'll be done with this by summer and then by fall, and
we won't be done with this until September, maybe. They're still posting things today. They're like, COVID,
the earliest.
The UK variant is more deadly and it's here. Like they posted that today. Every day there's another variant. Is crazy. Like it's like, oh, we're never gonna be done with this. So who gives a fuck? Every time they post that stuff, it just makes me think, well, fuck everything. Anyway,
tomorrow night we have TakeOver Night 1, huge night there. Yep. Obviously, we also have the AEW review. I don't have the TakeOver card. We already gave predictions on out of nowhere, but AEW tomorrow night we have Darby Allin defending his title, the TNT title, against JD Drake. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers are taking on Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks. We will have Hangman Adam Page taking on Max Caster in singles action. That was added as well to kind of bolster the ratings. We're also going to see the one, the only Mike Tyson return. The Inner Circle will be there after last week's bloody brawl and return when they took out the Pinnacle and MJF. We have the Bunny going against Tay Conti. That I am interested to see what happens. And then Jurassic Express taking on the big boys, Bear Country. So it sounds like a decent night, but I don't think it has a shot in beating NXT, honestly.
Yeah, I don't.
Night one, I mean, we obviously have the Io Shirai match against Raquel Gonzalez. That alone, I cannot wait to see.
You would think that NXT's beat them on regular nights before. Not a lot, but before, so you would think this would win.
Yeah, I would think that this is, the TakeOver they've really pushed heavily towards. Poppy will be on night 2 performing. Billboard announced that she'll be there again. I like her style. She's very unique and interesting. Her music's not bad, so more good for them. I wish she would be there night 1 to perform with Io Shirai again, but hey, it works. She's playing new music, and she's done well with the performances so far. They've been pretty quick and straight to the point, but I like having live music. Makes it feel special.
I agree. And you guys have been great tonight. I want to thank everybody who donated during this fun little podcast, live reaction Hall of Fame tonight. I thought it was nice.
Yeah, thumbs up.
7 out of 10, something like that. Would have been awesome if there were fans there for sure.
Certainly better than previous years. It was always like fun to hear like Cornette speak, and certain people get to finally get their time on the mic. But a lot of times it was like, all right, this guy's been talking about memories for 3 hours. It feels like.
Well, it would be 3 hours of just blah, and then there would be 1 or 2 standout moments.
Yeah, because there'd be people that you would want to see, and the real headliners usually, and then you'd hear them speak, and that would be the most ideal part. So.
I can't stress enough that we want you on Patreon, guys. We want to be able to get you guys to hear all the bonus content. But for some of you guys that don't have a lot of money and things like that, I get that. But for $1 or $2, you can hear quite a bit too. So we'd love to get you over there, man. If we hit 300 patrons again this month, it'd be really much needed. We're at 275 right now, so 15 of you for like less than a cup of coffee. For the whole month, you're a patron for $1, $2, $3, but certainly need some more VIPs. $10. See what you get there. $25, $50. There's a bunch of different spots available. Shout out to these producers on the screen right now. If a couple more you guys jump on, that'd be huge as well. And if we hit 320 patrons this month, I am going to do a 15-hour stream and go completely stupid. and then me and Jake are going to sodomize each other. So
I'm down to get fucked up for that. That sounds like a good time, bud.
Oh, the last 15-hour stream was so fun, man. All these different people.
Blast with that, so.
I had different people coming in every second. Like, everybody, it was such a party, man. It was so fun. We're out here to record, and we'll see you guys. If not, we'll see you tomorrow for the AEW/NXT TakeOver Big Wednesday night. See you tomorrow for a big night live here on the Joe Cronin Show.
Hell of a review. Check out the Patreon.
And look for Patreon. But we will release Remembering WrestleMania for free. We are going to put that out for free. But I'm also going to put it in audio form on Patreon. So if you want to hear it in audio form and download it on audio form, we'll have that for you before Friday on the Patreon. Shout out to the top patron, Sith Negan.
I'm gonna kick your face in. I'm gonna kick your face in. Gold crust.
Boom, boom, boom.